Hi everyone. So, what do I mean conquering anxiety one day at a time? Well, what am I going on about? What is this video about? Well, you may not know, but I have had quite a big battle in the past about anxiety and still do, really. And this video's probably different because normally it's all about Guernsey, which is, you know, the norm, I suppose, if you watch this channel. But some videos are about me and things going on, and this is one of those videos. So if you are thinking that you want to learn about a bit Guernsey and more Guernsey in this video, this may not be the video for you. But if you're interested in a little bit about how I maybe how my videos relate to my anxiety that I have and what's been going on, you may want to stick around and just listen to a little bit of this. You may even have some anxieties. So I suppose the first thing to say is that this isn't a video, a self-help video on anxiety. Okay, I'm not an expert, but I absolutely have gone through quite a lot with it. So I want to tell you about what's been going on with me and the symptoms or whatever you want to call them that I've had and how I deal with it and how it affects maybe what I do here on my channel. Before we get started, I have got a video which I explain in detail a lot, which I did maybe a year ago. I'll leave a link in the description. But anyway, that's if you want to watch that. But I'm going to go over a few things now. So with the anxiety, it's something that I probably always had, really, although I wasn't sure what it was. My mum would tell you, and I know as well because I remember experiencing it. I was very nervous. I was just a nervous child, so when I went anywhere, I was quite nervous, more school related. I remember not wanting to go to school, and I remember saying to the teacher I didn't feel very well and I wanted to go home, and it was normally because I didn't understand the work they were giving me at school, and I was a bit nervous to go and ask because I didn't understand. If, by the way, if any of this resonates with you, leave it in the comments below. You don't have to, but I'm just going to go over what's going on with me, because I think a lot of people, when you do a YouTube channel, they can think you're very confident, or you can come across as confident, but sometimes it is a bit of a show, and we'll be talking about that a bit later on, how these videos have helped or not helped. But I was always nervous, so it was Ross is a nervous child. He just gets a bit nervous about going places and this sort of thing. And that's fine, because I don't necessarily remember anxiety ever being mentioned when I was at school. And when I was at school, this was like infant school, so I was quite young. Junior school, not as much, but I remember every time I changed teachers, I was always worried and stuff. And so the reason I'm saying this is that I think it's not something that's just come on. I think it's always been in me, but it wasn't really identified. And it wasn't really a bigger deal from what I remember. My mum gets nerves. She says she suffers with her nerves and stuff like that. And I think probably it's a bit in you, isn't it, already, in your DNA. So I had all that. Then I went for a long time where I didn't have anything. And then anyway, it come on really about 5 years ago. I was on a cruise ship and it come on really bad. We had a really rough night, and as in like sea was rough. And I started to feel really weird. Like, I can't explain it. I thought I had a stomach bug. I thought I was, it was all the symptoms I now know was probably anxiety. I was feeling like I was going to be sick. I was hot. I was really feeling like mentally not thinking straight, and I think that triggered it. It didn't cause it because I'd had it. Looking back now, I'd had it for a while, the nerves and stuff. But I think being on the ship, it was the middle of the night. It was a very rough night, And the next morning, I just felt really panicked. Like it didn't leave me. I remember laid in bed and the ship was moving and we're rocking from side to side. It's around the Indian Ocean we're in. And I think panic set in that I couldn't get off the ship and I just wanted the sea to calm down. But obviously I wasn't in control of what was going on. So in the morning, just got up and stuff and I felt really weird, which I now know is my fight or flight system. It hadn't turned off, it was still going. And I know everyone's symptoms are different, and when I say anxiety, I know there's all different levels of anxiety. I know there's some severe anxiety, and I say I'm not trying to particularly help anyone, although if this does help, I'm pleased it will. I'm not trying to, I want to make that very clear, but I'm just going to tell you my experiences, and if you relate to it, brilliant. I was having my head symptoms was dizziness, and by the ship wasn't moving. I was feeling really unwell, and I didn't know what was going on. So I went to the ship doctor, and I explained what was going on, and she thinks I was just panicking about being on the ship, and we were going to be on the ship for 3 days at sea, and she told me that we're best to go off the ship, and we were in is it Indonesia somewhere, and we had to get off. We had to get off the ship and I had to stay somewhere for 3 days, and we flew back. We went to Dubai. We had to go to Dubai to come back because we thought we won't completely ruin the holiday, because basically I got off the ship early, and we flew back to Dubai, and it was horrendous. It just didn't leave me. I was like in a really state. I hated it. I didn't know what was wrong with me, and we were going to stay about 3 or 4 nights in Dubai, I think. I can't remember how long, but so I was thinking like, well, that really shook me up on the ship. I should be okay. Once we go to Dubai and stay a few days, 3 or 4 days, I'll be fine. It didn't. It just stayed with me, this like fear of like feeling, I was really unwell, I was feeling really dizzy. And of course, because I'd never really experienced it as an adult, I didn't know what was going on. And the second night or the first night in Dubai, I woke up in the night and I had this fear of doom over me. I had a full on, which I now know is a panic attack. My heart was racing. I thought I was going to be sick. I was soaked in sweat. I just sat up in bed, and you just want it to pass. And if you've ever had a panic attack, you'll know what I mean. You can't think straight. You just cannot rationalise what's going on. And what was scaring me more was I wasn't even on the ship anymore, and that really bothered me. That why am I having this to me now? I'm in Dubai. It's beautiful weather. We're safe, and I'm just riddled with fear and nerves. And that was the start of it for me. And we had to fly back, and I was really worried on the plane. Like, I was really quiet. I was just worried I was going to have a panic attack again, and wasn't thinking straight. I was, all the signs, the dizziness was awful. I kept feeling really dizzy all the time. And like the thought of waiting at the airport, I was really anxious. And bearing in mind, I love planes, and I've never experienced anything like this before. And we got back to Guernsey, and just continued. It continued. The feeling of like, I can't remember whether anxiety was banded around, whether anyone said they thought anxiety. But I remember going back to work, and I was self-employed at the time, and I couldn't even, like, all my confidence. This is the thing, it ruins your confidence. Any confidence you have just gets stripped away if you get anxiety, what I had, the version I had of it. And I couldn't stand up in front of a class, or if I tried to stand up in front of a class, my mind was just miles away. I wasn't with it. I was like getting, which I now know is depersonalization, I think. I wasn't feeling myself. I felt completely lost. I couldn't think who I was anymore, and it was scary. It's scary. It's really scary. I didn't know what was happening to my brain. I was I wasn't me anymore. I lost all my identity. I wasn't really sure like I was taking a fitness class. I'm a personal trainer, so my job I had to take classes, and I remember sweating, going to the toilet, just heart pounding, thinking I can't take the class. I can't go in there. Then I'd force myself to go in, and some points of class I thought I was gonna be sick because I was just feeling so strange, so strange. But I was acting in the class, and it was just sort of exhausting because I was pretending to be fine, and I wasn't, and no one knew. I didn't tell anyone. I don't know if anyone to this day knew what was going on. This is about 5 years ago. I don't know if anyone thought Ross was acting a bit weird, or I was a bit quiet. But I got through the class, and when I was packing up, I was feeling really strange, off balance, all the symptoms, off balance. I was getting head zaps, where I have just shocks going through my head. It was awful. And of course, I think I got anxious about not feeling well, and in the end, I think all the anxiety is I didn't like the feelings of being. I didn't like all the feelings of having anxiety, and that gave me anxiety. It's like a loop, isn't it? You're scared of getting anxious, so you get anxious about, and it brings it all on. And it was just cycling round and round. And I went to a therapist over here in Guernsey about it, and we had a chat and stuff, and I went and see her, and I sort of put on an act like I was okay, but I clearly wasn't. I was talking normally, like it's weird. I should have just been honest, but I couldn't be because it's weird. She was just chatting to me, and she said, "I think it's a control thing." And I'd moved jobs as well recently, and she think moving jobs and the ship being, the anxiety on the ship was like a thing where you weren't in control of the ship. And she said, I think, you don't like change, and you've had a lot of change recently of your job. And she said it wasn't actually the ship that did it, it triggered it, but it would have happened anyway. Your panic attacks and that, they would have come at some point. It wasn't the ship, it was not, you're scared of boats, it's not that. And so I had a few sessions, then it just continued. It just continued, and it nowhere near as bad, but the reason it links to these videos is I find these videos, especially the talking to the camera, these types of videos, these really help me. Now, whether it's some kind of therapy for me, I think it probably is. I think it is, or but and by the way, talking to other people would help. I noticed that talking about it really used to help me. I used to be in the hot tub, Fallon, and I'd be like, I felt really weird today, and I was telling him about my day, and I was like, I think I was feeling, I thought I was going to be sick here, and I was feeling dizzy, and when I was telling that, I could feel myself feeling better, so it helped me to talk about it. And I think the YouTube videos, even though sometimes you can seem really confident, and I think I come across okay, not too confident. I think come across reasonably confident on the camera. That's because I'm very comfortable doing this, and I think it's because I'm in control of this. But, and this is where coming right up to now, I still get it. I still get these bouts of like nerves that are just consume me, and I didn't have them for years. I never had any of this. I had it at school. So then when I left school, I was absolutely fine. Went all over the place, all around the world I've been, and I never had any of it. And it just started, and it's just there, and it's in the back of your mind. And I will get like, if I've got to go somewhere now that I'm not sure of, or it's something I've got to do, I can get like it comes back, and I don't. You can manage it, and I know what it is now. I generally know what it is, because for a long time I wasn't sure whether it was anxiety. I just thought I thought I was ill. I generally thought I wasn't well. And I wasn't convinced it was anxiety, which made me worse. I kept thinking, what's wrong with me? I'm feeling really strange all the time. I said my head would go fuzzy in social situations. My head would go fuzzy, dizziness, really weird sensations in my body. And it was... The sensations are awful, because if you're chatting to someone or you're somewhere, you just sort of want to leave. But now I know it is that, I can realise it is. What am I trying to say? I generally know that when I'm feeling woozy-headed and a bit off balance, oh, okay, so I'm getting nervous about something, I normally know what it is. And when you know that, it really helps, because you think, oh, it's just this again. I'm going to feel weird for a bit, but it's going to pass. And I've been really not right here, and I've got to go to work, and I've been feeling rough. I'm thinking like, am I unwell, or am I just worried about going and do something at work? And once I get to work, boom, it's gone. It can just go. It just goes. And I can get on with it, and I feel completely fine. It sometimes does linger around, but most time it goes. So, if, it's a very strange thing to experience, but the YouTube thing really helps me, because I think I enjoy doing it, and I'm not nervous about doing this. So in a way, this has really helped me. I get it. I can get this going to different places. Normally places I'm not sure about, which is ridiculous. I just feel it come over me, and it can absolutely consume you if you're not sure. It can consume you. It's not just a little bit of nerves. So I suppose essentially what I'm saying is that even though I do all this, I do get bad attacks of it now and again. And, someone mentioned in the comments the other day that they said, it wasn't a regular viewer, it was someone who obviously just found my channel. And I think I was doing something, and they said in the comments, this guy is clearly acting. He's not being himself. And I watched back the video they were talking about, and I thought, they could be right there, because I remember that day I filmed something, I wasn't feeling that great, and I thought someone's seen through me there. But I've got to tell you, I'm not acting. I'm generally not acting, because I feel fine. This is me, and I hope you can tell this is me. I'm not acting at all. So whoever said that, they sort of don't know me. They may have seen something which they may thought wasn't quite real, and it's possible I did say something a bit acty, but 99% of the time, if you meet me, this is what you'll get. This is how I talk. And if anyone knows me that's watching this, leave a comment below and just say, yeah, this is him. You can be a slightly elevated version of yourself on YouTube, can't you? I think everyone's the same. You point a camera at someone, you sort of change a little bit, but it's still me. It's just slightly exaggerated. But this video is definitely me. Okay. So I just wanted to really do this video to just maybe give you an idea more about me. And just say that sometimes the main thing from this is talking does help. Whether you're talking to a camera or you talk to someone, it does help. And everyone's symptoms are different. But if I think I never thought I'd sort of get through it and feel normal again. You don't think you're going to feel normal, but you do. You do get through it. You do get through it, but it takes time. But yeah, leave any comments below. Certainly if you've experienced anything like this. And just give you a bit more of an insight into me. As I say, you may not be interested, but if you've got this far into the video, you probably were interested. Right, anyway, we've got some good content coming up. We've got all my interviews soon with people in Guernsey, businesses in Guernsey. So keep an eye out for that. And I hope this maybe help someone. If not, thanks for listening. I feel better.